call. Let's get started just by checking if audio and video connection are good for the call. So just let me know if you can in the chat box, if you can both hear my voice as well as see my screen, and then we can get started. Dean is the first to answer. As always, some sort of a record there for Dean, I think. First one to confirm audio and video connection. All right, so I do take solace in Dean's confirmation, so we can get started. Welcome again to the VooPlayer Q&A webinar. Purpose of which is really to answer any questions that you as users may have, also to provide any training on advanced features, showcase new stuff that we've been working on, as is the case today, as well as to gather any feedback, constructive criticism, ideas, suggestions, thoughts, etc. on how we can improve VooPlayer and continue providing more and more value through our platform for video in your business. So that's the description of the webinar in a nutshell. Sorry, I was just checking on something. So that's the description of the webinar. The format is pretty straightforward. So at any time you have a question, just feel free to type it out in this chat box here. Or if you came prepared with any questions, you can just drop them in the chat box at any time, and we'll just start answering them in the order that they come in. Also would like to welcome everybody else who's just joining. We'll get started. Also, if you are unable to attend any of these webinars, replays are available weekly, the day after the webinar, on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/VooPlayer, as well as on our Facebook group. And if you haven't already, we do highly recommend you subscribe and join to those. Alrighty, so not a lot of people on the call today as far as I see, so that's good. Hopefully there's going to be some interesting questions. Maybe some more people will join as we get started, but without further delay, last week I promised you a demo on hotspots and how they're going to behave inside of VooPlayer and what all sort of actions they're going to accomplish. And I know a lot of you are joining just to see that, but unfortunately I'll have to disappoint you. Just kidding. We have a demo of the overlay, of the hotspots and how they're behaving for you today, so we can take a look at them inside of VooPlayer. So we've given a lot of thought to how we want to frame hotspots, and we decided to frame them within our overlay and annotation system. It just seemed like the most natural thing to do rather than develop a new feature. So what I would like to do is just showcase the hotspots in action right off the bat, just so you can see them and what they're capable of, and then we can sort of jump back into the application and see how they're set up and organized. So I've set up a brief little demo with this runway show, a fashion runway show. So here we have the first hotspot coming up. This lady over here is modeling jeans jacket, and we'll see as the camera closes up on her, we can see the first hotspot come over here from the right-hand side. So this is the first hotspot that we have, and it's what we're referring to as an HTML hotspot. So clicking on, let me just play the video. So clicking on it is going to pause the video in the background and allow you to run any sort of HTML content from that hotspot as an additional panel, as an overlay, which opens up. So in this case, she was walking down the runway and modeling the jeans jacket, and then when I clicked on the jeans jacket, I get redirected to, or rather opened up the additional content for the jeans jacket, so that I can find out more details about it, see additional products, maybe even add it to my cart, and then I can probably just go to the cart from here and complete the entire checkout, all from within the video while I'm watching it, and then at any time that I'm ready, I can just close out of it and then come back to the video, and the video will just continue. So important to note is that the video is pausing and unpausing as the hotspot is being interacted with. So that's the first type of an overlay. Let me just jump back to it for a second, of a hotspot. So it allows you to, as I mentioned, specify sort of its positioning, size, styling, etc., etc. But the main purpose of it is to run any sort of HTML content that you want to run as an additional context for the viewers with regards to a particular subject or location in the video. So that's the first overlay, which is what we're calling an HTML overlay. And then let me jump a little bit forward so we can get to the next one. I think this is the next one, yeah. So here we have the, no, a little bit more. Sorry. So here's the next overlay, and this is the. Let me just find where it starts, just so I don't have to watch the entirety of it. So here we have the next overlay, which is going to pop up in here, and this is a video overlay. So this allows you to, and I think somebody suggested this on the last week webinars call as sort of an interesting idea, and we decided to do it. So this allows you to basically call another video by using a hotspot. So as she's walking down the runway and modeling the jeans jacket, a hotspot pops up which says watch the denim jack video. So as I'm watching this video, I can just click on that hotspot, and that's just going to load in another video in the player at that time. So we can see that now we're watching an entirely different video about this jacket, and we can find out more details about it by watching it, etc., etc. And at any time that we want, we can just go back to the previous video just via linking it from the same way as we did for this one. So that's another video which has another hotspot which has back to the show, which gives you the ability to jump to that video and specify the time to which you want to jump. So I can go back to this video, and then from this video, when I jump back, I go back to that specific point where I left off on the previous video. So that's the second overlay, which is the I keep forgetting where it is, 140 about. So that's the second overlay, as I mentioned, is the ability to give you an additional video to watch within this video, so you can call up additional viewer context on, hey, I want to show you something more, but this is more of an overview type of video. So if you want to find out more detail about it and watch a video based on this particular scene or object that you're seeing, you can call it this hotspot. So we have the HTML hotspot and we have the video hotspot. And also the simplest of them all, and if I remember, I set it up somewhere on here, around 30 seconds, we have the what's basically a link hotspot. So you can just create a hotspot and just link it to any content that you like online. So that's pretty straightforward. So that's the three hotspots that we're starting with: the link, the HTML, or iframe, however you want to call it, which opens up a page or can run any type of a different HTML content that you like, and also the video, which enables you to switch between the videos from directly from within the hotspot. So that's the three hotspot templates that we're starting off with. So I've been talking a lot for a while. So let me just see if we have had any questions in the meantime. Dean, hotspot, yes, it was me for the video overlay. So hopefully, great suggestion, and thank you for that, Dean. So hopefully that was aligned with the expectations of what you wanted to accomplish. Lewis is saying, can we control the size of the image or of a hotspot within Vue Player? Yes, of course. That's what I'm about to show you. Then also has a hotspot question: will there be a pop-up with content inside current video, so viewer does not have to leave current viewing spot. Yeah, so that's basically how it works. So that's how I showed this first one, which is, I guess you can consider it a pop-up of some kind. So you can see that as this comes up, I'm still in the same video. I'm not leaving anywhere. So here's the video player, and when I say I think this hotspot says buy this jacket now, I continue to remain within the confines of the video player, but that entire page is just read in within that pop-up, let's call it, or overlay, if you will. And then at any time that you want, you can just close it and then continue the video from there onward. So hopefully that makes sense there, Dean. All right, so how are these set up? So rather than perhaps reviewing the existing ones which I have on this video, let's maybe take a look at another one, a new one. So let me just find an interesting point somewhere in time. Yeah, let's take this girl, which is starting, I don't know, somewhere around there. So let's have a hotspot pop up over there. So as all other overlays, these are going to be under overlays and annotations, and we've introduced a new category of overlays and annotations, which is named hotspots. And as I mentioned, we have 3 of them. One, which is a link. Second, which is a HTML panel or overlay. And the third one, which is change the videos hotspot for changing the video. So maybe the simplest to explain would be just the link. So if I just select the link, then I have, of course, the ability to specify the link that I want, as well as what the text over it will be, as well as the ability to sort of change the styling of it to match my colors. As you've seen already, you can, if you don't just want to use points, if you just want to use pictures, you can, let me just find an interesting picture. We can use the disco ball for this one. So once that's uploaded, you can see, let me just make that a little bit larger, so we can see that there's that hotspot. Let me just size it up a little bit, down a little bit there, and maybe just something like that. There we go. So as far as the positioning of it goes, you have the ability to position anywhere on the video. So not the case as it was previously with the other overlays where you had sort of a grid positioning system. You can now choose any point on the video where you would like to have these positioned. So you can just position it wherever you want precisely. And as you've seen, they are completely compatible with all of the animations. So if you just want to animate it, so sort of as it bounces in, you can do so, or fade out or fade in, etc., etc. You set up its duration, and that's that. So that's basically if you've set up any type of a VooPlayer overlay before, I'm 100% sure that you're going to be able to comprehend and easily manage creating new overlays and setting them up. Basically the only difference between them is really sort of the new positioning system that we have. So in answer to, I don't know whose question it was, Lewis's, can we control the size of the image of a hotspot within the VooPlayer? As you've seen, yeah, you can easily manipulate the size of it to have it as small or as large as you would would like it to be. Let me back to, I think I answered Dean's question with regards to the pop-up. William is saying, great feature. Can you demonstrate how many hotspot overlay answers selection can be added in a video? Yes, no, maybe. You can add as many of them as you like. And this is what I've mentioned previously on the last week's call, is that I didn't necessarily, and this is something that we're discouraging you from doing, is of treating these as funnels. Because if you want to ask somebody a question, so hotspots will never pause a video, for example. So the video is just going to continue playing as a hotspot appears on the screen. So if you really want to go down the line of making images for yes, no, and maybe, and then asking a question and then waiting for that answer, you're welcome to do that, but we're really not envisioning this being used as a replacement for video funnels. As I mentioned, the video funnels are being in the process of being reworked, so that's an entirely different story. But as far as the capability that you have for creating multiple overlays, you can create as many of them as you want overlapping at the same time. So that's not an issue, William. Dean is saying, hotspot question, can we have more than one hotspot popping out at one time? Yes, as I've just explained, you can have as many hotspots pop up as you'd like. Just same as any overlay. It's the same system. So previously, if you were able to add more overlays at the same time, you are now able to. It's just a different overlay template. It's a good way to look at it. Louis is saying, do they work on mobile in the same way as desktop? Yes. Again, same as all other WooPlayer overlays. They remain fully scalable across all of the devices. So the same way that you set it up is going to be responsive on all smaller, larger screens. So no need to worry about that. The hotspot remain responsive and will maintain proportions that they have in the video. Lewis is also asking, can the hotspot text be changed inside? I might have missed that if you didn't show it. Not something that we've considered thus far. We'll love to see sort of the use cases for it. Thus far, we haven't necessarily seen a lot of benefits of this text, but we'll see sort of what kind of styling capabilities we can expand this upon. Just so you guys are aware, this is not something that's currently available in the application. I'm just previewing you what's going to be released. So some of this is still a bit rough around the edges, but you kind of get the idea on what we're trying to achieve. I think I don't want to commit to it, but my strong belief is that this is going to be in the next week's release. So next week this is going to be available for everybody to start playing with, and then we can start gathering feedback sort of on what additional styling capabilities we want to incorporate into this, like changing the text color, background, size, etc., etc. William is saying, is this feature for all accounts? Good question. That's an ongoing debate that we're currently having. So I do not have an answer at this time, but as it stands currently, this is going to be available for all accounts, including free accounts. So that's kind of the current position, but we do reserve the right to change it pre-release. Currently, the status is, because all overlays are currently available to free accounts, thus this should also be available to free accounts as well. So it looks like this is going to be basically a win for everybody. It's just going to be added as an additional feature for all accounts. Alrighty. What else did I want to mention with regards to the overlays? Yeah, so you've seen them set up. It might be a little bit difficult to kind of think of feedback right now, and as I mentioned, this is probably going to be available next week. So I'll reiterate on all of this on the next week's call when you're able to actually start testing them out on your own and seeing how they're behaving, and you're able to try them out. So at that time, you're probably going to have much more feedback on their behavior and how you envision something working, or something that you might want to add it. So you'll see how all of them can be changed and manipulated. So that's it for hotspots thus far. We do have some more envisioned sort of templating ideas around them and sort of triggering ideas around them, but not anything that I'd like to discuss at this time until we start gathering some initial feedback. Dean is saying, you've just taken WooPlayer to the next level with this hotspot feature. Thanks. Yeah, it's been getting a lot of momentum on the ideas board around people who submitted feedback for something similar. So we think this is definitely a good enhancement, and the overlays are the most popular WooPlayer feature that people are using, and it just makes sense to make it even more powerful, we think. Anytime for other questions not related to hotspots? Yes, at any time do you have a question, just drop it in the chat box and we'll answer them right away. There's one more thing that I wanted to showcase before we get to the questions. Is an additional thing that we're working on is the WooPlayer extension. And this is really rough around the edges, but just I'll just walk you through it briefly. So I have a Chrome extension over here for WooPlayer in which I can log in, and it can pull in all of my videos. So the main idea about this is really, so on one side is for browsing. So if I'm, for example, on Facebook or whatever, and I want to share a video of mine really quickly, and I don't have that link from WooPlayer, I can just open up the extension, and I can find that video, and I can grab that link. Or if I'm on my WordPress site and I don't want to go back to WooPlayer and I don't have the embed code available, I can just quickly grab the embed code. So this makes all of your WooPlayer videos available directly from the extension, so you can quickly grab the codes for them or jump to edit them, etc., etc., etc. And so that's one part of the plugin. The second part of the plugin is really the recording functionality. So you have the ability to record only your screen and your mic, your screen and your camera, or just your microphone and your camera. So if I do the screen, I can then start recording my screen in the plugin, and then I can stop this recording. So that's going to give me the sort of the preview of what I did. So I like this recording, and then I can upload it directly to WooPlayer. So I've just recorded my screen, and you can also record your cam and your microphone, and then you can just upload that recording directly into WooPlayer. So I think on completion of the upload, I think this is gonna redirect me to the edit application where you can start editing this video right away, or you can just grab the embed codes for it. Sorry, I'm on the wrong account. I should have noted that. So that's also something that I just wanted to bring to your attention. That's something that we're working on, is this nifty little Chrome extension, which we think is going to save a lot of people a lot of headaches with regards to recording their screen and you know, getting those videos to WooPlayer, as well as optimize those processes. All right, so that's we'll talk about this plugin as it's being developed, but I've eaten up too much time, so I just wanted to get some questions. Let's see. Do sub-account users have access to the help support pages info on WooPlayer? Answer to that is strictly no. So sub-accounts should not be aware that WooPlayer exists. So if you have sub-clients, our sort of methodology is they are your clients, they are not our clients. We're not providing any type of support to them or any sort of communication with them. You are branding that player as your own player, so you should you are more than welcome to use the content from the support articles, etc., to rebrand it as your own, so that you're always welcome to do that. But no, they should never have access to anything that says WooPlayer on it. Louis is saying, so we can supply our own help pages based on yours. Yes, exactly. You're more than welcome to, if you'd like, just copy and paste all of our help pages. Just be sure to replace wherever we mentioned WooPlayer with whatever you're calling your player. Alex is asking, is there a way to transfer videos from one account to another? I'm hosting a client video in my own account now, but he might have his own in the future. So I'd like to transfer that video with all the insights and stats on it. I'll answer that question indirectly. So currently there is a way to share a video between the accounts, not necessarily transfer it, but share it. So for example, if I've set up this video and I think somebody else might have benefits from it, for example, I've set up different integrations. I've set up an opt-in here. I've set up some custom branding, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I wanted to share this video. I can come up over here and click on share with others. and I can start, excuse me, and I can enable this. And now at this time, there's a link for this video to be shared, so anybody could open up this. Actually, I think yeah, Sam. So I'm QA at QA, which is the account that I'm on, has shared this video with you, so you can copy this video directly into your account, but then you're losing all of the insights, etc. So basically, you're just copying this video with all of the player settings. So I just wanted to make you let you know that this is available. But with regards to your direct question, Alex, there isn't a way to transfer ownership of the video and the data associated with account from one account to another account, because there's a lot of variables there, and that would just be more or less, I think, even forbidden from privacy standpoint to allow users to do that. But if you have a need, and if this is only 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 videos, even if it's 10, if it's not thousands of videos, and if this is not something that's happening on regular basis, do feel free just to email us at support@voolplayer.com and say, hey, I'd just like to transfer this video from this account to another account, and I will gladly assist you just by changing some IDs in the database on our end, and that's gonna take care of that headache for you. So I think that's the most straightforward way to handle situations like this. If you have a need for transferring data or transferring settings or exporting, importing, a bunch of weird situations, that's what support is here for. So just let us know anything that we can help with that doesn't seem too obvious on how you can accomplish it from within the application, and we'll gladly do so. Lewis is also saying, did the Wix issues get resolved with floating players and pop-out players? I remember the Wix issues, but I can't speak to if they were resolved or not. I think that's assigned to me, and I need to double check on that. Thank you for reminding me about that. I'll double check on that just to see if there was any progress or if that was resolved, and I'll reactivate that ticket. William is asking, is a hotspot beneficial in a live stream? Any feedback how they could be applied there? In a live stream, yeah, sure. If we're talking about an actual live stream, same way as you would with any other video. So if you know what you're going to be talking about in the live stream ahead of time, and you know the scenes that are going to be there and what the camera is going to cut to, you can absolutely prepare hotspots and position them to where you would want them. So really, hotspots, the way that I at least see them working, are defining how the video should be made, not necessarily get the video pre-made and then figure out how you can fit hotspots into them. So if you're creating video content and you want to utilize hotspots in the video content, you should be designing and storyboarding that video content based on, hey, this is a place where I would like to enter in a hotspot future down the road. So if you have that idea, regardless of what type of streaming or application you're doing, if you're able to sort of present that idea and position it clearly, I think you're able to take advantage of that. Can S3 linked videos have subtitles? If not, is this something you plan to add in the future? S3 linked videos. So just to clarify, so S3 linked videos would be, hey, I have some videos sitting on S3, and then I can just grab their link and import them. Let me actually get out of this. So I can just grab the link from S3 and then import it as a link. If that's the question, currently that's not supported. That's definitely something that we would like to support in the near future. So thank you for actually bringing that up. Let me just make a note of that just so we don't forget, so we can heighten the priority on that as well. I'm logged out of that. Let me just log in. That up. That should be that. All right, cool. So I noted that, but currently no linked videos, regardless if they're coming from S3 or YouTube or whatever, can have subtitles on them. And it's not our laziness or anything like that. It's just technological limitations that we're facing that we're not able to succumb that easily, but something that we can invest more efforts into in the future. However, if you are uploading videos to S3, so rather than uploading them to VooPlayer, if you are uploading them to your S3 integration, which I don't know if you're aware of, Alex, you can connect your S3 account to VooPlayer, and then you can upload directly to S3 from VooPlayer. In that case, you are able to have subtitles on your S3 videos. Any idea of the timeline for the new funnels? No idea of the timeline for the new funnels. They'll be ready and released when they're finished. Unfortunately, that's the best I can give you at this time. Alrighty. Alex is also saying, quick suggestion, can you publish a doc where you explain features comparison between uploaded and linked videos? That would be useful. There is an article out here, I think, which I definitely believe we can improve upon, docs.VooPlayer.com, which is called something like benefits and limitations, benefits of hybrid hosting. And I think this goes into limits of hosting videos externally. It's not possible to download. These videos can be encrypted. Bandwidth of source video provider will be used for streaming. Subtitles cannot be loaded if the videos are hosted externally, and external 360 videos are not supported. So there's not that many differences which would, I think, warrant a comparison chart, but these are all listed out in this article, which is benefits and then under the limits of hosting videos externally on what you're not able to do if you are hosting videos externally. Again, it's not just because we don't want to or we are not willing to support that. It's just that technological limitations faced with when you have a video source hosted on one domain, and then you have whatever you're trying to accomplish hosted on another domain. Then you're running into some security policies issues with browser vendors, and that's the main restrictions behind that. Alrighty, cool. Ran a bit over time. I do have a hard stop, so I'll apologize if we didn't get to any questions this week. And admittedly, I've eaten too much time with the hotspot. So again, apologies for that. Hopefully, we'll see you again next week. We'll continue everything that I've showed you this week. Hotspots we'll continue discussing next week with regards to sort of their release and additional capabilities for their improvements, as well as the plugin which I showed you briefly. I really want to dig into that a little bit more to get some feedback around how that can fit into your workflow more nicely. What else did I want to talk about? We'll talk about everything. Also, the roadmap for funnels. We can touch on more on that. Did I forget anything? No. Again, thank you for joining this week. Hopefully, we'll see you next week, and have a great remainder of your week now. Bye.